Good morning.
Good morning.
You're Christopher Bushnell.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Mr. Bushnell, you were previously in court, entered pleas of guilty to the third-degree felony offense of evading arrest or detention with the use of a vehicle, and the second-degree felony offense of engaging in organized criminal activity. Those were for agreements of a 10-year probation deferred in each of those cases. I have received the pre-sentence report. Has everyone had an opportunity to review that report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are there any additions or corrections to the report?
Just that it may indicate that he doesn't take full responsibility, but after speaking with him, he does take full responsibility for his actions and involvement in both cases.
I've also reviewed jail incident reports. Have you both been given a copy of those?
Yes, Your Honor. I have.
So you're 17 now?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't think he turns 18 until.
December 26th.
And Judge, if we need to go back and renegotiate an offer, obviously he's not even out of custody yet, and this is how he's acting.
Well, and
Your Honor, obviously due to his age, I want him to have the opportunity to get his life together, obviously not going into adulthood with felony convictions. I have preached to him the importance of following the rules and not.
you can't do it, can you?
Okay.
You cannot. 21 incident reports since January 25th of this year. 21. Fighting, calling officers names, stealing food, instigating fights, being a bully to other people in the dorm. Ridiculous. So if you can't follow rules in the jail, what makes you think you're going to come in here and I'm going to say, sure, go be on probation out in our community? After y'all shot gun, I mean, this is serious. I'm tired of the shootings. I'm tired of people, you could have killed somebody. And because you accidentally didn't kill somebody, you get a probation. Not today. If I could send you to ISF, I would consider it. I can't. At this point, I'm going to reject the plea agreements. We will set the cases for a review in about 30 days. Let's see where we are, go over his options, y'all talk. If I can always do, upfront time, but we've got to get to a certain point where that would make sense. And so at this time, I'm just going to reset the cases. Again, I'm rejecting these plea agreements. And let me tell you, you get more of these, it's only going to get worse. I'm going to see them. A jury's probably going to see them a jury will see them if you go to trial. And you're going to end up in prison for up to 20 years because you can't follow the rules in our jail and you're acting like a little punk. So go stop acting like a punk, prove that you can behave, then we'll see what happens. When you come back next, I'll see how many of these I have. Go back with the bailiff. Mr. Kimler? Yeah, on Mario Blunt. That's a sentencing.
Judge, I've spoken to the probation officer who's here, and I'm just going to ask the court to follow her recommendation. The one allegation that would have been proved up is a misdemeanor assault from last year that was never filed by the police department.
Okay.
It looks like we don't need to proceed on that.
So it looks like the recommendation is substance abuse.
ISS, or substance abuse ISS.
Well, it actually says substance abuse cognitive, and we can't do both. So
Is there one more than the other, though? Understanding that the problems are both common.
Yes.
Andrew, in your opinion, what do you think is best?
Cognitive first with JCBI aftercare.
okay, that would make sense.
And so that would be I understand this isn't an agreement, I don't think, but this is what we're asking the court to do based on the pleas that have been entered in probation's report.
I guess you're on the record. In talking with Mr. Blunt, I think that he will do, obviously he's not gonna refuse ISF, but he was going to suggest that he's using, or has used marijuana or THC in the past to cope with anxiety issues in lieu of ISF to perhaps try to pursue something through MHMR.
Well, he didn't just use THC, he also used methamphetamine, and I'm pretty sure that's not very good for anxiety.
Well, he's not contesting ISF.
Yeah. So, Mr. Blunt, you're on probation for an extremely serious offense. I could be sending you to prison today for a very long time for violating your probation. Sounds like probation's willing to work with you. You've done some positive things while you're on probation, which are good, that you are going to treatment. You've made it a great deal of progress. Those are the things that I'm really concerned about, but they're not the only things I'm concerned about. You've got to follow all of the rules, not just some of them. You've got to get this drug deal kicked. If you don't, you're going to go to prison over drugs instead of really what you or the underlying offense is. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to give you the opportunity. We're going to give you treatment. You take advantage of it and change that part of your life. Great. If you don't, you're back in here, and this is going to be zero tolerance. There's no messing up at this point.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If the treatment that you're getting through JCDI is not enough, it's going to be up to you to be a grown-up and go to probation and say, I'm feeling tempted, I need more help. Nobody wants to go into custody for more help, but it's better to go in for 90 days than it is to go to prison for up to 20 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in clause number 15-21380, I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of true to counts 2 and 3 freely and voluntarily. Find those counts true. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty and revoke your probation, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to follow the recommendation of the district attorney in probation and continue you on probation in order that you enter and successfully complete the cognitive track of the ISF program. And then when you're released, you will enter and successfully complete the JCDI program. These programs are doing two different things. The first one is to help you make better decisions. It's about thinking and making better decisions. The JCDI program is the drug intervention program to help you with what you need, hopefully, to stop using drugs. So you're going to have all the tools that you need to make these better decisions, and then it's going to be up to you. Continue doing everything you're supposed to through your treatment and other things like that. It sounds like that hasn't been an issue. You're still on a deferred probation. You're still not convicted of this offense. If you're back in here again, in all likelihood, you will be convicted and you will be going.
In this hearing, the court addressed the cases of Christopher Bushnell, a 17-year-old defendant who previously entered guilty pleas to 2 serious felony charges: evading arrest, detention with a vehicle third-degree felony, and engaging in organized criminal activity, second-degree felony. Both pleas were part of agreements offering 10-year deferred probation. Before formally accepting these agreements, the judge reviewed the pre-sentence investigation report as well as numerous jail incident reports detailing Mr. Bushnell's behavior while in custody. The court highlighted an alarming pattern of disciplinary incidents since January 25th, including fighting, bullying other inmates, instigating conflict, verbal abuse toward officers, and theft of food. The judge emphasized that these behaviors demonstrated a complete inability to follow basic rules even in a controlled environment, raising serious concerns about Bushnell's ability to comply with community-based supervision. The judge sharply warned that while the defendant was fortunate no one was killed during the shooting incident underlying the case, the seriousness of his conduct and his continued rule-breaking made the previously negotiated probation agreements untenable. Given his age, the judge stated she wanted to give him an opportunity to become a responsible adult without lifelong felony convictions. But his actions showed he was not ready for such leniency. Because Bushnell was still in custody and had already accumulated extensive disciplinary violations, the judge rejected the plea agreements. Instead, she'll reset the case for review in 30 days, ordering the defense and state to reevaluate options and warning the defendant that continued misconduct in jail would only worsen his situation. The judge made clear that if the matter proceeded to trial, a jury would see every incident report, greatly increasing the likelihood of a lengthy prison sentence of up to 20 years. She urged Bushnell to stop acting immaturely, follow rules, and demonstrate meaningful behavioral change before the next court date. Immediately afterward, the court proceeded with the sentencing hearing for Mario Blunt, who faced revocation of probation for violations involving drug use, including marijuana and methamphetamine. Despite the seriousness of his underlying offense and his history of substance abuse, probation reported that Mr. Blunt had made meaningful progress and remained engaged in treatment. The judge emphasized that although his progress was positive, compliance with all conditions, not just some, was mandatory. She stressed that his drug addiction must be fully addressed to avoid a future prison sentence of up to 20 years. After reviewing the report and the probation officer's recommendations, the court found Mr. Blunt's pleas of true 2 counts 2 and 3 were entered freely and voluntarily. Although sufficient evidence existed to revoke his probation, the court chose instead to continue him on probation and ordered him to complete the cognitive track of the ISF program, followed by mandatory completion of the JCDI drug intervention program upon release. The judge explained that ISF would focus on decision-making skills, while JCDI would address his substance abuse issues directly. She warned Mr. Blunt that this was likely his final opportunity. Any future violations would almost certainly result in conviction and a lengthy prison term. Both defendants were strongly reminded that the court provides opportunities for rehabilitation, but only those who take full responsibility and comply strictly with court orders will benefit from probation instead of incarceration. For more information, like and subscribe my channel.